Day 2 started with a trip to the historic Barton Distillery, whose 6-foot-wide column still produces a staggering amount of bourbon, including the award-winning 1792 brand. Using a barrel thief, we pulled samples of 1792 full proof straight from the barrel and picked a cask that showed enticing aromas of light caramel-covered pears on the nose and vibrant green apple, pear, and bright baking spice on its full-bodied palate. We then visited Rabbit Hole and Angel's Envy distilleries for tours before heading to dinner with Bulleit single-barrel superstar Melissa Rift. Melissa brought some fantastic options for us to try, and after tasting through a variety of different barrels and recipes, we settled on recipe E1, a mash bill with relatively lower rye content and a yeast that can show aromas of leather and banana. The bourbon itself was sweet, spicy, satisfying in all the right ways, and we all found ourselves going back to our glass for just one more sip. We started day 3 in the middle of a Kentucky snowstorm. Blizzard conditions and icy roads made travel difficult even for Alaska standards, but we made it to Four Roses for our barrel pick. Like Bulleit, Four Roses uses 10 different recipes for their bourbons by way of 2 mash bills and 5 yeasts. We picked a top floor barrel of the OESK recipe. That's a mash bill of 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% malted barley with a yeast that adds spicy notes to the bourbon. The barrel showed delicious aromas and flavors of maple syrup, sweet caramel, toast with apple butter, warming white pepper, and cinnamon spice with a medium-bodied mouthfeel. Weather made other distillery visits impossible, but Barrelcraft Spirits' Ned Anderson brought samples to our hotel where we picked 4 fantastic barrels. Barrelcraft Spirits is quite possibly the best blending house in America today, and their selections showed it. We first picked a barrel of Stellan bourbon with a sumptuous, silky mouthfeel, followed by a barrel of BCS bourbon with a nose redolent of baking spice and cardamom and an intense, bright palate that showed a fantastic balance between malty sweetness, alcohol heat, and rye spice. The best was yet to come with 2 barrels of BCS private release whiskey. We selected a whiskey finished in a Pedro Jimenez sherry cask barrel and another finished in a Jamaican rum barrel. Both were delicious dessert whiskeys that we cannot wait for Alaska to try. All 4 Barrelcraft Spirits whiskeys will be bottled at cask strength.